Hello and welcome. Got any spoons? I'm your host, Anne, and I have my co-host, Amberlyn, aka Mrs. Labeezy. I love saying that. You guys should see how much fun it is on, on the transcripts to correct her name every time. But it also doesn't get my name, so it doesn't matter. I'm doing a lot of corrections. Welcome. And Amberlyn, let's get this into it. What's your spoon rating today?
I'm sitting at about 3 spoons today.
I hear you.
Where are you at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good that we can fake it and make this podcast when I
Mhm.
know damn well where both of us were before we started this
I crawled out of
podcast
bed.
and and it's just not fun. So yeah, I did make an ER visit and part of me right now as I say this and I'm like, damn, it's been a hard week.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, I have a heart too. I also know that other people have much worse weeks, and there is terrible stuff in the world. So,
But we're not playing the sick Olympics. You had a rough
no,
week,
it's
Anne.
not sick Olympics. It's not a sickness when I'm talking like, wars. I'm talking wars.
Very true. Yeah, that is fair.
So I want to acknowledge that the world does not revolve around me or illness or anything like that, but we do have a podcast. We do have a community that does need support. And if we're going to support anybody who has other strife, struggles, whatnot, we need to try to help each other. And I think that's what this podcast is about, sharing
Yeah.
and coping and finding some joy uh, in uh, in a situation that for most spoonies, it's very difficult. Oh, look, I bobbed my head and my lights went bubbly bub too. Wait, wait, guys, watch. Those who can watch with Amberlyn, we got to see if Ann can do this. There we go. I want the fireworks. Where are my
What
fireworks?
if you do
Fireworks,
two at a
fireworks,
time?
fireworks. It won't do anything.
What y'all are missing is
That
before we got on this, it would shoot fireworks across her entire screen, and then glitter would come down in front of her. It was so pretty.
apparently I'm a one-shot wonder.
It's gonna work after.
Okay. All right, fine. Um, yeah. Spoons are very, very limited at this point, and I am finding myself using the carts in the motorized carts in the stores.
For
Um,
sure.
and I'm definitely I don't have a lot of spoons to parse out at all.
Yeah,
It's not, how am I going to use the spoons? I have no spoons, people. I'm
right.
I'm in bed. It's a good place to be right now. Um,
It's my
but
favorite place to be.
as we're talking about support in our community, Amberlyn and I were going to talk a little bit today about support dogs. Well, all of a sudden, there's a name that all of a sudden went out of my head. It's not a support dog.
Service
It's a
dog.
service dog. There we go. Yay! I did
You
it.
did it!
It's the little things, people. Making fireworks happen on my screen is one of them
They're
on
so
demand.
pretty.
They're so pretty. They were like, we needed the reason for the season, for the fireworks. And service dogs are
Yeah.
definitely worth fireworks. Have you had a service dog before?
I have never. I've definitely been interested in training our dog to be a service dog, but I've always had concerns on if he's even capable of doing that, just because he is a rescue. We don't know his past.
Mhm,
He's very reactive to certain things.
mhm.
So I'm very interested to hear all that you have about them.
Yeah. Um, I have had a service dog in the past, and the way that it happened is that I do have trauma. That is a trigger warning. There will be trauma talk, not dumping, promise. but some talk. And the trauma that I had revolved around violence. And
Mm,
so I've always had dogs, always loved dogs. And our son was scared of dogs for quite a while, and he
mm,
was probably 7, 8, wasn't real big on them. So I thought, well, we'll start volunteering at the Humane Society, and maybe he'll, you know, warm up to maybe he'll just be in the cat room or
yeah.
just going there, seeing animals. And yeah, we did that for a little bit. And one day I said, why don't we go see who's there and maybe we can find somebody. And at this particular Humane Society, there, as you walked in, there was a run, an outdoor
Mm,
run of dogs, and that connected to the main building.
mhm.
And they had an indoor outdoor run. So they could stay inside and then they could go outside, go to the bathroom. And when I say run, really it was more of a
It's a
place to
cage.
go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
And some fresh air, I guess, if you consider that your neighbors have just gone to the bathroom right outside of there too. Um,
right.
But it was a long gauntlet it was a long walk. There were probably at least a dozen cages runs,
Mm,
not more than that. And as we're walking, these dogs, it's the bigger dogs, they are barking, they're jumping up on the fences, they're excited to see
yeah,
somebody who could be coming to say hi to them. And
right.
about the second, third to next to the building, so you've gone past a dozen or 10 of them, there was a German Shepherd perfectly sitting, watching us. Hello. And what are you doing here today? In that building? Do you see these crazies that you've been by me? Hmm. I'm gonna sit her. Her name was Sadie, and she was a
Oh my
full-blooded
goodness.
German Shepherd. She was a year old. And
Oh, she's a
because of her
baby.
calmness and all that craziness, my son said, I want to see her. And so he picked out Sadie and we brought her home. And at the time, I was definitely triggered to dissociative states and would
Hmm.
kind of zone out, more like an absent seizure, some people might call it.
Hmm.
Um, she would notice and she would start licking my hands.
Oh,
And if you know about German Shepherds, when you go on walks and you have a leash, and if you meet anybody else who has a dog that they can pick up, they do
hmm.
pick them up. And they will say rude things like, this isn't your lunch today, there, buddy. That is such a good thing because your little dog does not need to snack on my dog's leg. Because
Yes.
I understand, I know the psychology of the little dogs, and you taking their autonomy and just picking them up like that doesn't do anybody any good. But
It's just
okay,
going to activate the Napoleon syndrome, you know?
yeah, exactly. So, my point though with the dogs is that people were afraid of her. And that was
Yeah, I
just
bet.
fine because people don't always respect my privacy, my space bubble. Kind of got
Right.
one of those. I'm a very um extroverted personality type, but I have a bubble. And if you bump my bottom with your cart,
Mm.
you're not gonna see the checkout lane getting checked out. You're gonna have to go someplace else.
You
Oh,
gotta go.
you bump my bottom.
Yeah.
There's a lot of junk in the trunk there, but bumping it ain't gonna make it move.
It's so
Yeah.
jarring.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. So that's the kind of thing. So Sadie, walking with her, I felt safe. I felt
Mm.
good. And so I started, um, I'd let her into the house and she'd clear the house. She kind of knew to go to all the bedrooms and the bathrooms, and then she'd come back to me and be like, okay, come on in. And
Aw, I
just,
love that.
if she had found somebody, she wouldn't be coming back to the door. There would be an alert.
Yeah, you would hear her.
Yeah. And so I thought, well, she's got some natural tendencies that lead me to believe that she could be a good service dog. But I had no
Mhm.
idea how to go about training my own dog. And I started at PetSmart because there's a PetSmart just about everywhere.
Yeah.
And they do have a program called the Good Canine Citizen. Um, and it's a pretty thorough program
Hmm.
and a good place to start to know if your dog is going to be able to be in the public. Um,
Mm.
and that's what that's for. And it does a lot of work with, um, like they have to know the leave it command where they sprinkle the back of the store with treats and the trainer is at one end with your dog and you have to call your dog and make it through the gauntlet and say leave it and they have to leave all the food, all the toys, everything and come straight to you. And if they stop and sniff or eat or play, they fail.
He
Now
said
that's
no.
he said that's a final test. I mean, there's a work up to it, but they have to be pretty much unfazed, and if they are phased, they have to be able to hear you and come right back. Like
Like
I
break
say,
out of that.
okay, we leave it. And so we even practice. We do go to an off-leash dog park. Um, and I use that command for any dog that's on a leash. I say leash, leave it. Because that dog is on a leash for a reason. And I want to
Right.
respect that. I want them to enjoy their time. And I don't want to say, oh, my dog won't hurt your dog. Your dog's probably nervous.
Yeah.
Don't make it difficult. This is not, they didn't ask you to approach them and their dog.
Right.
And you can't say, well, it's off leash. What do you expect? I expect you to respect a dog on a leash.
Mine's on one for a reason.
Exactly. So that was that is that's just something that we do. And we got through that program. They were not able to lead me elsewhere. So what I did was call the Lions Club, which
Mm.
is the group that recycles glasses. So I figured they have resources for low vision and no vision, and they had resources
Yeah.
for a couple in a town a little bit away from where we lived because we lived out in the middle of nowhere, Midwest then,
Uh-huh.
not a metropolitan area. And the couple came, evaluated Sadie and what she was currently doing for me, and then what they could complement with the training.
Hmm.
And they had a book and all the different people that they had helped with their dogs. And so that's what we did.
That's
Technically, you can
awesome.
look it up. There is no certification of service dogs. Um,
Hmm.
so if someone says, well, I have their paperwork, you have paperwork because your dog's not a service dog and you're wanting people to believe it. Because a
Mm.
service dog, you basically don't even know they exist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When they're at a restaurant, they're under the table. When they're
Right.
on an airplane, yes, they're next to you, but they're not barking. They're not making a scene. They're not reactive. They're 100% attuned to their person.
Right.
So, but I guess I wanted to talk then about the idea that a service dog is great for everybody because I don't think it
Hmm.
is.
Why?
They're a lot of work. If you don't feel well,
Yeah.
dogs still need exercise. Dogs still
Hmm.
need fed. Um, and dogs still have medical bills as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, those things can be part of your medical deductions if you're able to itemize, but they are a pretty large expense. And if you have one that's trained before they come to you, um, that's those are thousands of dollars dogs. Um,
Yeah.
and they don't do that for free.
Yeah.
So you're usually going to have to find the cost and a lot of us don't own our own homes, so you've got to deal with your property manager.
Yep.
Um, if you're talking about a dog like a German Shepherd or a Great Dane, and I say a Great Dane because they're great seizure dogs for taller people.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That was one of the dogs that the couple that I worked with, one of their success stories was a young man who, or I don't know if he was young, he was tall and slender, who had seizures, and the Great Dane would sense that and would help him safely to the floor. Um,
That's awesome.
but he definitely exceeds the weight limit of most residential areas, and
Yeah,
I don't I don't know. Great Danes are the sweetest. I've never had a Great Dane ever jump, paw, do anything other than hi,
right. They're
how's
gentle
you?
giants. I
They
love
are.
Great Danes so much.
They are wonderful. And then you have the breed that pitties are actually extremely loyal, supportive. They can be
Hmm.
great service dogs and are in a lot of cases. Um, and I hate the fact that they have a reputation. And around here,
Right.
we have full out pit bull bans where they are not
Hmm.
allowed in certain
Yep,
cities, towns, whatever you want to call them. And I'm a staunch believer that it's the owner, not the breed.
it absolutely is. We are a pitty family. We are now, this is our second pit that we've had. And both dogs, when we adopted them from the shelter, we were told that they were very reactive, aggressive, and should not be around children. Now, I have three children. They're all school age. They're a little bit bigger. They're not toddlers, so they know how to treat a dog.
Mhm.
But my daughter dresses our dog in tutus and invites him to tea parties where he actively sits and will
Mhm.
drink tea from a cup.
Mhm.
So I, for the life of me, can't find where this aggressive bone is in him. He
Mhm.
finally feels safe. We
Yeah.
don't physically hurt him and we communicate with him because a lot of people don't realize that dogs are very, very good at communicating. You just have to watch and listen.
Yeah. There's a TikTok content creator who talks about dogs' language. Like, do you know what your dog is saying here? And like breaks down very micro micro not obviously aggressions is the word I'm used to, but
Right. Like the facial features,
yeah, like
like the
okay, this
movements.
dog has come to the mom, pawed him, and as he's raised his paw, he's looked at the door. He wants to go outside. That
Hmm.
that micro like hint of a flicker of the eye to the door, or a flicker of the eye to the food or the toy, or that's telling you
Hmm.
what he wants. He got your attention, and he showed you what he needed with his eyes. Very,
Right.
very small. He didn't go get the toy and bring it to you.
Right.
Some will. Um, but it's just amazing. They are communicating like all the time.
They're
If
trying to.
yeah, if you can figure that stuff out. And then like
Yeah.
you said, they're also built on um routine.
Yes.
And so I'm going to talk about myself, but this isn't
Mhm.
myself. This is someone else that I'm very close to. Got a service dog. And the idea was to train this dog as a service dog because with POTS,
Mm,
it can be very difficult. Exercise helps, eating helps, but often we don't feel well enough to eat. So,
right.
when the deal is when the dog eats, you have to eat. You have to
Mm,
eat first, and then you feed the dog. And trust me, the dog is going to be like, "Can you eat now? I need to eat.
right.
Hi, eat now.
Let's go.
Let's go." And they can moderate too. They're like, "Yes, we need to exercise, but hey, guess what? We need to go home." Do you know how many times my dog goes from the couch to my bedroom going, "Mother, mom,
Hmm.
mommy needs to take a nap now, mom." I'm like, "What?
Yep.
What?" And the minute I come and I lay down, he's like, "See, this is
Hmm.
where I need it to be." I'm like, "Okay, thank you for
Thank
telling
you.
me."
Uh-huh.
And it's like, "Okay, now let's go." I'm like, "What? Let's go. Go where?"
Hmm.
You know where.
Yep.
The
Aries is
off
the
with the
exact
dog
same way.
part has been like a saving grace to me because I don't have the strength
Yeah.
to walk and at the pace that they need to exercise.
And for the
And I
length
trained,
of time.
yeah, I've trained my dogs in the past to walk on a treadmill
Oh,
because
that's cool.
we live in a snowy, icy area, and just even getting
Hmm.
to the dog park at times is not doable. So,
Yeah.
there are videos as well on how to do that training. I didn't watch those videos, so I did it all on my own. But that's another possibility. Um,
Yeah.
it's also an activity that you can do inside, that's benefiting you both. And I think mentally it can benefit both
Yeah,
the owner.
absolutely.
But does that take effort and energy to get to that point where you can use a walker or a treadmill on the regular? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's also another expense. Pretty doable if you go to garage sales or
Yeah,
secondhand
that's what we
stores.
did. Facebook Marketplace. Every time we've gotten 3 treadmills so far, I haven't paid over $70 because
Mm,
I'll wait until I find one that comes across on Facebook Marketplace either for free that just
mm-hmm,
needs like a few screws or, simple things that I can fix or something
mm-hmm,
that's super cheap. That's been the best thing for us. That way we don't have to do a gym membership either because my husband is able-bodied. So he does want to go out and do exercising things and active things, but I can't do that. And I
right.
haven't been able to in years. So the treadmill being here gives him an opportunity to do those activities. Now,
Yeah,
I could see you doing that with the dog and the dog gaining trust from you as well, because this is a new, big, can be scary machine that they don't
mhm,
know how to operate. And if you're giving them guidance on what to do and how to do it, and you're there with them the entire time, they're learning more to trust you as well. So it could totally be a trust building exercise too.
yeah, definitely, definitely. And it's a good thing. But that's that was before I got the type of sick that I am now. That was
Yeah.
with the PTSD, and now I'm much more physically disabled,
Hmm.
and I'm thankful to have an able-bodied spouse as well. Um, and so if I'm not able to, because I've mentioned it, I consider the dog park my church and
Hmm.
where I go to connect to Mother Earth, and it's my thing in the morning, and I love my sunrises and things like that. But um,
Yeah.
people talk about dogs, and I don't want to dissuade anyone who truly is committed and wants and needs a dog.
Right.
And but if it's a service dog versus an emotional support dog versus a pet.
Right. Those are all
And
very different in needs from you.
yeah, and I think it's important, if you are on your own and if you don't have an able-bodied partner or contingency plan,
Yeah.
that's another important thing to have in place. Like, I can't get out of bed today. The dog needs out. Who are you gonna call? Not Ghostbusters.
I
No.
was going to say Ghostbusters.
So in our area, another thing that I didn't know about is they do have like play places, playgrounds that you like doggy daycare. Again, it's an expense.
Right.
Um, but maybe there'd be a way to like have inter networks of this disabled in your area, like where you
Yeah.
do daycare swapping. Moms do
That would
daycare
be cool.
swapping.
To
Like,
where you
hey, I
probably could
have
have
an
a play
appointment.
date.
Yeah, I have an appointment and I can't take, my pup. Can she come over? And even
Yeah.
in my place, even if they didn't get along, I could put that dog in a different area of the
Yep.
house for a time. And we have done that for friends. We've kept them for vacations, hospital stays.
It's a little different.
A little bit different, but the same. So, um, I don't know. Was that helpful, or there's any
Yeah.
questions
I
that come up?
honestly did not, I didn't know that service dogs didn't have paperwork that went with them because that is all that you hear on social medias. Oh, well, you need to ask for papers. You need to do this. And obviously, I've dissuaded people from even entertaining that idea, but I didn't know that, it's as simple as going through with PetSmart and then going beyond with that on your own to get more tailored training to what you need from your dog. Like, I didn't realize it was that easy to attain. Now, if my dog can do it or not, that's a different story. He's got a single brain cell. It's just rattling around in there.
Yeah. And there's other groups. I think there's like companions for life, I
Hmm.
think in our area, but what they do is they offer training, and they do offer you have to go through a protocol and testing because they're
Hmm.
not full-on service dogs, and but what they do is they go to nursing homes and schools. And so I have a
Mm.
very sensitive bigger dog, and
Yeah.
what he reacts to are wheelchairs, other
Mm.
people in wheelchairs, and we can't exactly have that and go into a nursing home.
Yeah.
We might be able to do a school if we know the classroom and we don't have any wheelchair bound students. But that was an opportunity to learn, and for other people to test to see
Hmm.
if there would be a reaction and what. Then they also gave us resources. Okay, if you do want to take this farther, here are the resources, here are places to go. um, what you said reminded me, when it comes to a service dog, the only thing that they can ask is this a service dog? Yes. What service do they perform? What do they
Mm.
do for you?
That's a new one. Is it a piece?
I just got balloons. Oh, it is. I put two hands up to say, I put two fingers up, people. I said you can ask one, are they a service dog? And two, what service do they provide? And all of a sudden, on my screen, I have a rainbow colored of balloons going up my screen.
It's a
There's
party.
my description of my very fun. You are missing out if you don't check us out on YouTube. You're missing out on the rainbows.
Seriously?
Um, the rainbow balloons. So, and when it comes to pots, so you can teach them to open doors. They can open the fridge door. They can get you water. They can
Hmm.
get medicine to you. They can alert if your blood pressure is dropping, like in the shower. They
Ooh.
can alert if you need food. I mean, whether it's your blood sugar or just your malaise type of thing,
Hmm.
they can usually figure that out, and they will like bring you snacks, and they're like, what's going on? You can work
Oh,
on that.
that
Um,
sounds so sweet, though.
yeah. And for pots also, if you're an extrovert like me who likes to go out, but maybe a bit younger, and maybe there's more peer pressure, maybe there's more, I really want to be here. But when you say my dog is on a schedule and I need to get him home, he needs to go to
Yeah,
sleep, and it's the dog's fault that you're leaving, and nobody
it's a
has to
better
know that you're
scapegoat.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even, that's another benefit of having a dog that's in tune to you. And but there's also the grooming cost. A lot of
Yeah.
dogs, our service dogs, tend to be hypoallergenic, which means they have hair, not fur, which means
Hmm.
they need to be groomed and cut, not just
Yeah.
brushed and washed and that type of thing. Um, and
I've
I'll
also
tell you
seen the
what,
really cool dye jobs that they've done on service dogs. They're so
doodle
neat, though.
doodle hair is a beast, and you better
Yeah.
figure out how to get those massively expensive clippers that can handle doodle hair
Oh, I bet.
a lot. So I'm just amazed by that stuff. So is that Aries right there that you're saying hi to?
Yep. He came
Yeah.
over and curled up.
Oh, mine are at the groomers, so they don't have
Oh,
to get groomed technically. The doodle does, but mine just need to be clean.
yeah. That's how he
Like,
is. He has a
clean.
singular coat.
Oh, my plot hound still has a double coat, and I don't know what
Really?
Hamilton is, but he's got like hair everywhere.
He's
I
got
don't know how
hair.
many coats it is. I'm like, do you have four? Do you have four coats, Hamilton? I think you're a four coat dog. I don't think that's possible, but somehow you've made it possible.
He's prepared for the winter. Hmm.
That's it.
Okay.
He's a highly prepared dog. Um, so do you have any highlights, any must-haves? Are there any other questions about service dogs for the moment?
I don't think I have any other questions. You've covered just about all of them, and I do like the fact that we've got stuff that people can say if they do get questioned on, their service dog or what to expect. I think it's an awesome topic in general. It definitely needs to get out there because it's not really talked about. And I've noticed I've tried to talk to the community that is service dogs, and a
Mhm.
lot of them aren't very welcoming. They don't want to talk to you about it. This is their thing. This is what they're doing. They'll give you
Hmm.
whatever facts they'll put out there, but they're not very open with this information. So it's been awesome.
Oh, there's another open thing is that there are stores that are more friendly, like Home Depot and Lowe's. Call
Yep.
ahead of time, but often if you go in the off hours, like at 5 a.m. or 9:30 p.m., um, and the big thing is walking with the automatic doors, walking with
Mm,
where there's elevators, going into a bathroom with the dogs.
yeah.
Um, it's the hard part is, yeah, in the aisles are the people, but the reactive parts are often the moving parts,
Yeah, they're
doors.
scary.
Yeah, and you can practice in those stores before you ever like go full force. This is my service dog. Um, and
It's a good
then
idea.
they're also good about employing people who are differently abled, and
Hmm.
they'll usually be able to talk to them and say, "Yeah, we have an employee who's wheelchair bound, and they work every Saturday," and you can start a relationship there to work
Yeah,
and get your dog accustomed or have some exposure with a wheelchair safely,
that's
um,
such a good idea.
and things like that. So sorry,
Yeah.
but yay. Um, must have.
I don't think I have a must have this week. I did not come prepared. It's
It's
been a
okay.
it's been a week.
I went to your TikTok uh account
Hmm.
yesterday because I needed a couple things, and to be honest, I always go to Mrs. Labeezy's TikTok account and then I follow her Amazon link because the way it works with the Amazon influencer program, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, if I go and I follow her link uh to the Amazon and I put something in my cart that's from hers, and then whatever I
Hmm.
buy that day, she gets credit for.
I do.
Help
It's
somebody out
very,
like
it's
that.
pennies, but it counts. And
But
I
it
actually,
counts.
I finally logged in, I think last week. There have
Hmm.
been over $99 in sales that people have gone through these links, and I only post things that are beneficial. I'm not going to
Well,
give you guys things that don't work. I've made
yes.
$2, but it's $2.
Yes. Well, I was needing, I wanted to get some of the instant ice packs that Allison spoke about. And I thought, you know
Yes.
what? I'm going to go to Mrs. Labeezy's talk and I'm going to look at those hand warmers. I'm going to get those and I'm going to get the instant ice packs. The hand warmers, $5.
Woo! They're down in cost. It's because you're out of the
Yes.
cold season. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I love
And
them.
so I was able to put those in my cart for $5. I was able to get the instant ice packs um, because I've been really, really nauseated lately, and I find that
Yeah.
cool helps. And
Hmm.
apparently, when you go to a hospital and you ask for a cool rag, that is not a top priority at in any way, shape, or form. They will. They will gladly get you a warm blanket. I asked 12 times. 12 is the highest I count, and that's when I
Yeah.
stop also. May I
Oh, I get
please
it.
have an ice pack? Yep, I'll go get you one. Hey, hey,
Oh my
hey, hey,
gosh.
hi. Is there an ice pack coming? Oh, yeah. Just a minute.
It's not.
There's one coming. So I shall prepare my own bag
Yeah.
with cold packs.
Honestly, I have them everywhere. I have them everywhere that I have Emus's bags. So I have a set in my Jeep. I've got a set in the bathroom upstairs. I've got a set in a little rolling cart. I've got a set down here in the rolling cart. And that way, if I do use a set, I can replace it with the stock that's in my bathroom closet upstairs.
Sounds like
Like I have,
something that needs to be on your Amazon store.
okay. I will put them on
And
there.
also,
I got
well,
purple ones.
now, red flag, I don't know, but red flag. If you wish to cut this out, I do think that I've heard you say, I don't put this on there because the price point bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. However, if it is a product that you feel other people could benefit from, it is not your decision to decide what
That's
my price
fair.
point is.
No, and
So
that's fair.
it's fair. And I appreciate and I know that you're not doing this for money. I know your heart and you make that
Right.
obvious all the time. And I'm not saying stop that, but I also don't want to miss the opportunity to give you credit because you don't like how expensive it is. Well, I want it, I need it, and if anybody's going to get credit for it, I want it to be you. And you've mentioned it, and you're like, ah, they're on the pricey side, so I'm not going to put them on. I'm going to look for a better option. You know what, sweetie? I can look for a better price if I want. You put what you find and what you like. I don't care how much it costs. Put it on the damn Amazon site. If
Okay,
I
I will
like
put
it,
them on
I'll
there.
get it.
And you know what, from now on, I'm be like, just because Anne said I have to put it on here, I'm putting it on here.
Thank you. I don't know. Let's try for the fireworks. Yay! God
Nope.
damn it. Not doing it. I really need this computer to tell me what the hell I'm doing wrong.
It just decides when it wants to work.
No, I had a smile. I had a yay going. I had everything.
You were
Okay.
fully prepared.
Thank you for allowing me to express myself, if not
No,
call you out, or
absolutely.
however you want to label what I just did. I
No,
do.
honestly, it's fine. The reason why I feel guilt in it is because the majority of our community is on disability.
Hmm.
And with being on disability, money is very limited. So I know for myself, we live paycheck to paycheck. So when I get to the end of a paycheck and if I see a really cool product that I really want, it's so
Hmm.
discouraging knowing that I can't buy it, but it's just sitting there. So I think it's been more of a mental process for me, but now knowing that it's bothering you and I will change it for you, just for you
Well,
though.
and let's think about the fact that there's also the option that other people see it who have the resources that want to gift it to someone they know who could
Yeah,
use it. It's not it's a broader spectrum than a direct market to those who have limited funds.
that's fair. Yeah,
It
I
is
didn't think about it that way.
so yeah, I just think it's a resource of to me it's more about knowledge. There's a product that can help. Okay,
Yeah,
price might be an issue, but there are other ways to get around that. So
right.
let me know what you like.
That's fair.
Okay, cool beans. All righty. I got a few more things. What was it? I'm looking at my notes. Neither of us were working on things today. We took a
Mm-mm.
break because of our spoons. No spoons for projects today. Um,
Yeah.
oh yeah, because the Medline sleep pillow was one of those. That was
The
what
Medline.
prompted me.
The only reason I waited on that one is because I did reach out to the company to see if I can get a discount code. They
Uh-huh.
have not reached back out to me yet. So
Okay.
I will go ahead and just I'll upload the link. I'll throw it in the comments of the older video too.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I would never be able to just outright afford that like by
There was a
itself.
referral code. I went there, and when I put it in my cart, number one, they were sold out at first.
Nah.
And then when they weren't sold out, they said, "And what is your referral code?" Which is when I said, "Oh, I won't purchase this yet. I know someone who purchased one. They can give me their referral code."
Yeah,
So if they didn't know that you had already purchased one,
I
then
never
no.
purchased it. So the way that it worked was they
Oh,
sent it to me as a PR package. And when I had
okay.
initially asked them for a code, I didn't get a response. They said, "Please let us know if you enjoy our product and please post a video of our product." And I was like, "Okay." So I did
Okay.
that. And that video actually got some traction. And the company even commented on the video saying, "This is awesome. Thank you."
Hmm.
And then I reached back out saying, "Hey, do you guys have like a 20, 25, 50% off? You know, that'd be nice." Nothing. It's just silence.
Well, a referral code's different than a percentage off, and that's
Mm,
giving you the props that you deserve, and it probably wouldn't be 20-25%, but it's something. And like you said,
yeah.
pennies start to add up, and
Mhm.
I
Especially with the Medkind sleep system, you can get individual parts of it. You don't
yeah,
have to get the entire thing all together. And that's one thing I didn't mention in the video initially.
speaking of things that you can get parts of, the body braid.
Mm, I haven't done it yet.
Okay, it's
I have to pay
okay.
my bills today, and then if I have enough money left over, I'm gonna do it.
Okay,
It's finally
cool.
time.
All right. I'll see if I have a referral code for that one.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
That's since I've got one. In fact, we're gonna have to cut it. We have to be done. I have to get into my body braid if I'm gonna do anything today, outside of the bed. Maybe I won't. I don't know.
You can always put it back on. You can put it on and get back in bed. No one's going to judge you
Yes.
for that.
And we spoke about that because I had an activity to go to last week and it has been really hard. And you and I touched base and I was like, I don't know, Amberlyn. I don't know that I can do much of anything today. And you
Yeah.
encouraged me to wear my body braid. And one of the things that you reminded me was you can always take it off because it comes with its own little bag. And I do mean little bag. That
Yeah.
thing does amazing stuff, but then the bag is like this big. So
Hmm.
wear it for half an hour, wear it for an hour, wear it for 8 hours. Were you do you remember the bra? Like, this is an
With
8 hour bra. This is an 18-hour bra. Do you remember? Right? Yeah, they still make them. They still make them. I forget the brand. It starts with a P, but they have
funny.
18-hour bras. And the deal was that they used to have 8-hour bras because that's how long you'd work. But we're like, we work longer than 8 hours. Or like, we came out with the 18-hour bra.
I didn't realize bras had a time limit. I mean,
Well, when you got big girls, yeah, because they stretch out and like start digging in. And even with my camis that don't have any wire, I have to switch them out about every 6 to 8 hours is the max.
oh my
Then they do not
gosh.
have the support and I will hurt. So I've
I
learned
just
that.
I double up. I wear a regular bra and then a sports bra over that, and it just doesn't come off until I shower. I don't like skin touching skin. It's a thing. Like if my boob skin was to touch my ribs, don't like it.
Okay.
So they
Okay.
stay
Have
separated
you
at all times.
I have another friend who has this. Have you seen the towel that wraps around your neck and then it's
Yes.
got the cuffs for the boobs? And so you can and,
I
and
haven't been
she
able to justify it.
okay. I bet you I could crochet you one.
I would never live it down, but I would totally wear it. My husband would be like, "Whoa, what are you
I make
doing?"
that into zebra stripes. Rainbow.
With my
Definitely
cowl.
rainbow zebra stripes. These can be the the ears. All of a sudden, we're going to be an Eeyore. Wah, wah. The best.
This is dangerous.
Okay, that seems hard. Ow.
Oh no.
Don't make me laugh that hard, Amberlyn.
That was you. Don't blame that on me.
All right, fine. It was me. Okay. Um, Thank you so much for joining us. We've had
Yes.
a lot of fun. If you have any questions about service dogs, I'm not an expert, but I have had a service dog, and I'd love to answer any questions. We also know some people. Well, I know a person for sure. Amberlyn
She
seems
knows a
to
guy.
have a harder time talking to such people. It's the pity problem. I've
Ah,
decided it's got to be. Um, and so uh, send us those questions if you have them at gotanyspoons at gmail.com. And we will see you next week, or, we'll be on the
yeah.
cast podcast. I guess I can actually say those words now. On the clock app, you can only say half the word, either pod or cast, because the minute you say podcast, they don't
Completely
your video
shadow
out.
ban you. Yep.
Yeah. So, all righty. Thank you so much, Mrs. Labeezy. You got to sign off.